So here we have Ted and Juliet Van Ruyven, and they are here to talk to us about what they are doing currently in their relationship to make things happen. As you know, with other interviews that we've done, these guys weren't exactly working out for a while, but now they have a wonderful, happy, juicy, spicy relationship. And I just wanted to remind you guys, you know, the points that we had talked about before when we had our last interview was you were saying you were taking 100% responsibility for all of your actions. You wanted to be grateful about things all day long. You are what you think, basically. You have a vision, you believe in yourselves, you take action, and you commit. So with looking at those skills, what would you say was some of the key factors when using those skills that helped you turn your married life around between the two of you? Ted, over to you, buddy.
Oh, gosh. Well, I would say that my wife is, Juliet, is really the driving force, and she's got a huge amount of wisdom because she's been reading many books about self-improvement at some point I realized that you know how life goes. Sometimes you get so set in your ways and you get so used to things that you don't appreciate things anymore. And at that point I realized that holy smokes, you know, my wife's actually done so much for me, and she's been such a huge factor into where we are today, and you know, she's really worth hanging on to. I mean,
so you kind of snapped out of it, or
yeah,
you came from a place of gratefulness.
Well, it was a process because things had been
rough,
been on a downhill slope for some time, and then we joined. What was it on in Oregon?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so a seminar. That's where it started, and that's where it almost ended.
That's where it started and almost ended. Isn't that the way it goes sometimes?
They'll be in the next book.
Oh, thank you. Hey, we're gonna help him
yeah.
They'll be in the next book.
Yeah. We'll get Ted to write a whole chapter there.
Oh, gosh,
here we go. Let's get him into action and commitment mode right here, right now.
Yeah. Well, honey, thank you for that. Like, I'm gonna give my piece as well. Number one is take 100% responsibility for your action. Well, when he told me he wants to divorce me, I said, oh my God, before I couldn't even say the word divorce.
Wow.
Anywho, so I was shocked, of course, and I said, wow, what did I do to cause this? So, because I know and remember, I keep blaming him for almost everything, right? I keep blaming him. And he's just a nice guy. He's a wonderful guy. But of course, there's no more sparks and no more passion. That's what I thought. You know, we don't love each other anymore. So it's gunners, right?
Yeah.
But I said, when he finally said, oh gee, I want to divorce you. Oh my God. Anyway.
The shock sets in. I'm not really ready for that. Oh boy, this guy means a little bit more to me than I thought before.
Yeah. Or something like I ask myself, what did I do to cause this? And how can I be the best person or the best wife in that relationship? So for me at the time, because I thought, wow, I'm gone.
Yeah.
Right? At the time I said, well, so for the next man, I'll be the best person that I can be. Right? So that's what I applied really, is take 100% responsibility without blaming him at all anymore. And then be grateful, of course, for what we have. And then, again, I really don't want to lose this guy. He's an amazing guy.
Absolutely. So what would you say then if you were to point out, let's say top three. Let's say top three mistakes that you think that couples make.
Aha. Do you want to take it
Well, the top three. Well, I think number one would have to be that the simple little things, like, you know, touching your wife and you know, smudging before you go to bed, and waking up next to your wife in the morning and kissing, and hey, you know, good morning, and such a beautiful day, and opening doors, and just things that you automatically do when you're so much in love.
Yes.
But down the road, it slowly erodes, and I don't know. It's just one of those things, and so it's. I think that's a biggie. Another one I think is to be supportive of each other. Like she was doing this project with the book, and I was way behind on supporting her, and I didn't believe she could do it.
Ooh.
It was just incredible how she pulled it off, and I missed out on a big thing in her life, and
Oh, I'm crying now.
so that's definitely number two, and then number three is the communication. We were just sitting together and we weren't talking. We were just each we were doing our own thing, and I was concentrating on one, and you were concentrating on something else, and I'm not the most talkative person in the first place, but
My thing is now.
so yeah, communications are definitely maybe it's even number one, I would say, actually.
That's right. Yeah, I
Think
agree,
of it.
honey. I was gonna say, come on,
Yeah.
turn it around.
Yeah, I would say it's number
Communication, really.
So-
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just giving love to each other and praise each other and look at each other's eyes, and I appreciate you, I love you, and I want to live the rest of my life with you.
one. Right, same here.
This is like a dream come true. It's far fetched,
Yeah.
It's like yesterday. It's not there. It wasn't there. So
Yeah, and it took so many years, and we've got so many memories built up, and so many things we went through in our lives together, and our daughters are living proof of what we've created, and they've learned from us, and we're learning from them because they're pretty smart, and so yeah, it's family is a big thing, and people really have to take it serious. Don't just give it up, because you'll never replace it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's why we're in the journey now to share what we've been through, because we really hit rock bottom in our relationship, and we thought it was the end for us. It's divorce, it's a big thing, And so now we're on a journey, and instead of me going ahead and writing another book for myself, I told Ted, in the past I've been doing this book promoting and tour and speaking engagement everywhere, and he was left behind.
Right.
And I told him now, when I ever want to do this again, I want him to be with me.
Sure.
And are you with me, honey?
You betcha. Don't want to miss out again.
And it is really
It is fun.
Yeah, to share
Yeah,
the
it is
message.
fun,
There's
right?
a lot of neat meetings and
Amazing people.
yeah, that's right.
And amazing learning experiences, and you just expand in your heart and your mind, and everything just keeps expanding, right?
Like you even met the president of the Philippines, right?
Yes.
So yeah,
I get
Pretty
driven
cool.
by a Rolls Royce, It's my birthday, and I thought I was so excited. I thought it was for my husband, They gave me 20 red roses. It was my birthday. Oh, sorry. See, he didn't want me to share that. And I told my sisters, oh my God, thank goodness my husband remembered my birthday. And when I read the note, it wasn't from him. Anyway,
But
so
that's
Sorry.
when
That's
you
history.
guys were on the skids, and that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about
Okay.
right now.
All right,
What,
okay.
because you guys have gone through it, okay?
Yeah,
You know some of the warning signs that your marriage needs help. So if you have other people that are tuning into you right now, what would you say you need to recognize as the warning signs? What would you say so that they can nip them in the butt and start to turn it around? I know Ted gave some very good examples, but what would you say the key warning signs are that you need to turn things around?
I think when you can not stand each other anymore, each other's company, and when you together and you run out of words to say, run out of stories.
yeah. And
And-
you start spending a lot of time with other people rather than your spouse.
That's right. And going to bed ahead of the spouse, or going to bed ahead.
Yeah, you turn that way and you turn that way. That's not a good sign.
No.
That's,
And you're more spending on the phone or internet or
Yeah.
than with your spouse, and
Oh,
no
yeah,
more
definitely.
dates, No more surprises.
Yeah.
No more, hey, honey, you look great today.
Right.
Hey, nice clothes. Wow, what an outfit.
I mean, you know, people have to have time for themselves too and their own interests.
Sure.
But also at the same token, there should be a good amount of time that the majority of the time probably should be shared.
I think for me too is grow together. Because when one is growing, yeah, I could see Vicky doing this. And one is just, okay, I'm happy here. But how do you meet?
Yeah.
So I think growing together is very, very important too. Oh,
Yeah.
that's a lot already. You're asking for
That
3.
that is a lot of weight. So now I'm getting to the fun part here.
Oh, fun part.
The fun part, because I know you guys have come up with some spice. I've heard the spice. So and that's a private joke between us. So what are some simple ways to spice up people's marriages? Just simple ways. I know that Ted hit on some, and I thought that was really, really neat. Like you're saying, wake up in the morning, smile at each other, say good morning, and give each other a kiss. That's just such a simple way, but it does start your day off in appreciation for each other. So fast, right? So what are some other little ways that you can spice up your marriage?
I mean, simple things as walk together, holding hands together.
Yeah.
You know, and engage on the activities together.
Yeah, or coming up as a surprise, go for a date and you surprise your mate by taking her to a concert or something else, or you know, nice restaurant.
That's right. Oh, one time I was in the Philippines. Yeah, that's right. Surprise. I was in the Philippines and I don't feel like coming home because I said, wow. But he says, oh, honey, I really miss you. Yeah, words, right? I really miss you. What about you come home and let's spend Christmas in Holland? And well, we're so fortunate that we can do that once in a while.
Yeah.
And maybe a side trip to Turkey and Israel. I said, oh my God.
How fast do I get home? How fast do I pack this bag?
And I miss you. That word, you know, I miss you, and I couldn't sleep without you, or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so
that's the truth.
Oh, that's the
You
truth.
sleep a
Oh,
lot better when you're around, baby.
oh
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, gosh, this is like.
I know that from my own relationships. That was one thing I
yeah.
said. I said I just sleep a lot better when you're here.
Yeah.
I do. I'm at such a place of peace and contentment when you're beside me. I can feel the heat of your body. I can hear you breathing. There's just something it
Yeah.
says, it just calls home. It just calls home. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think what we're gonna say is, at any point of your life that you think you're noticing that you're falling out of love, there's always hope. Really, just connect with each other. Start with communication and say, reminisce the past. Like how were you when you were in a courting stage? Instead of blaming, oh my, he doesn't talk to me anymore. There's one story that I read. This woman is complaining about the husband coming home, and all the husband does is go straight to the couch and watch TV and with a beer, right, and read newspaper. And so
That's not me.
no, it's not him.
No,
And so I think it's
definitely
from
not.
Jack Canfield. This story from Jack Canfield. It says,
definitely not.
so she attended this seminar and she came home and says, well, what did you do that changed your husband? Well, you know, he was reading a newspaper. I know he's gonna read a newspaper, so I cut holes inside a newspaper, and he went up to him in front of him naked, right? And so the husband automatically turned off the TV and put down the newspaper. So I mean those things, and your husband doesn't spend some time with me anymore. Well, why don't you sit down with him and cuddle him, and you know, if you have to be naked, go naked. And I bet you he's gonna get distracted, right, honey?
More than likely.
Yeah. I mean, don't wait for the manna of heaven to come to you. Be the change you want to see in the relationship. I think that's the number one thing that I really
that's
apply.
very
is
good.
Be the change you want to see in the relationship. You know, if you want to kiss, well, kiss him. If he doesn't want to kiss you, doesn't get turned on, go naked in front of him. I'm sorry. It's getting porno here.
Yeah.
Sorry, Vicky. So
Just,
I mean,
no. These are good suggestions, because I think that you're right. Instead of getting into the blame game, which it's very, very easy to get to, well, he didn't do this and he didn't do that and she didn't do this and she didn't do that. That doesn't advance anything. So I think being in positive action mode, like you say, and coming up, those are creative, fun, humorous things. I
Right.
think when you bring in the funny and bring in the humor, that really makes a difference as well, right?
I think
Because
so,
it's
yeah.
light, it's fun. You want to have fun with your partner.
Yeah, and I think another thing that I apply there is like, you know, when your husband served you divorce and says he fell in love with someone else, right?
Yeah.
And what do? He doesn't love me anymore.
Yeah.
And so, be the change I wanted to see. And I said, well, no, you're not my husband now. Sorry. But what about
My
you be my
boyfriend.
boyfriend? So we went to Australia and I said, you know, you're not my husband.
You're
I'm
my
your
boyfriend.
girlfriend. So we don't talk about serious finances, you know. Oh, how we gonna pay these bills or what we gonna do now?
Right,
Like, I'm your
right.
girlfriend, baby.
Good,
So
good.
if I'm
Yeah,
your
'cause it
girlfriend,
worked.
if you're eating with your girlfriend, what would you do? You know, what would you not just gobble up things and you look them in the eyes and you know, right? So
Yeah. Yeah. You
Yeah,
enjoy them.
so-
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to share also, Vicky, is I think I wrote down somewhere there that I mentioned that like visualize too your ideal life. This is what when I got served divorce and wow, it's the end of for us. And so I wrote down in one of the seminars again of Jack Canfield. I learned from a lot of mentors. you
Yeah.
know.
You seminar junkie or?
Well, I used to
That's
call
what I call
myself.
her.
I
Oh,
used
okay.
to call
There we
myself
go.
seminar junkie, but
Yeah.
really it's not. I'm gonna change that into I'm a lifelong learner.
Yeah. Yeah. And I believe that too. I actually really enjoy seminars as well. I come away from every single one of them with something positive and I'm always ecstatic that I went.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, right.
Yeah.
So in one of the seminars, I wrote down the sites, the life, where's my life now, the wheel of life, and I did a lot of like vision board, and I wrote down there, would be nice to wake up. My ideal life is I like a man in my life. You know, I don't think I want to live alone. I want a man. I want a macho man, right?
sure.
And so I wrote down there, it'd be nice, my ideal life would be, this is just one part, is waking up in the morning with a nice massage, warm body next to me. And I didn't know who is that man gonna be, right? Because, hey, my husband's leaving me, yeah, right? But I wrote it down anyway. That's my ideal life. That's how I want to wake up in the morning. And now, my God, every day, I actually, years later, 2 years, I think, I'm waking up with this man, amazing man, the father of my children, and massaging me. And he even learned how to massage. He doesn't know how to massage before.
Oh,
So I mean,
right on.
so
That's
it's there's a
great.
power on doing your vision board
Definitely.
and really writing things down. So I
We,
think
we
that's,
could do a whole 20 minutes
Oh, yeah,
just
and
on
we
vision
can, so,
boards.
yeah.
I've got a vision board downstairs about 4 times the size of that. I've got some vision board stories for you. Holy
it
cow.
works.
But they work. That's a bottom line. Those things are powerful.
yes.
Very powerful. Well, thanks so much, you guys, for being here. It's great. I know, Ted, you're getting ready to go to Venezuela, and this is all exciting. Your son's getting married, and then
Yeah,
Jhet,
yeah.
you're going to be meeting up with him a week later. So you guys are off and running on another adventure. So thank you again for taking the time out on a very busy evening just before you got to go traveling to get into romancing your Romeo.
Yeah, and so we
Right?
can inspire more people and save a lot of relationships and couples out there.
That's right.
And really, if we
uh,
can do it,
Thanks to Victoria for this great interview. She's got an amazing personality, and she should have her own show. I keep
that's
telling you
right.
that.
That's our.
Well, maybe that's the next thing. That's
right,
what we'll
that's what
do.
we gotta do.
That's what we're going to power. We're going to vision out.
All right.
Okay, well,
Okay.
thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Have a
Talk to
great
you later.
evening.
Live your dreams.
Okay.